All right, so it's been a while. I've been waiting to make this video for a long time, though. I say a long time, like a couple months, but I'm going to rewind to when this all started. This is going to be, first of all, this is going to be a comparison between the T1C Axis Slim light bearing versus non-light bearing for the TLR7 and the P01. So a few months ago, or a couple months ago, I ordered a holster from Tier 1 Concealed. I fucked up and I thought I ordered the one for the P01 and the TLR7A. I didn't. I ended up ordering it just for the TLR1, or just for the P01. Holy fuck, there's too many fucking letters and numbers. But ended up ordering it non-light bearing. Got it, was really disappointed, but I ended up wearing it for a while and ended up falling in love with it because of how slim it is, because you don't have that light fucking sticking that clip so far out off your body. But I really wanted to be able to use a weapon light, so I went ahead and ordered a replacement or a second one because I couldn't replace this because it was my fault. I double checked and I got one that accepts the TLR7A. So it's going to be a direct side-by-side because I feel like not a lot of people have a holster this specific for light bearing versus non-light bearing. Normally you just got one or the other, and if a lot of people do have that, I haven't seen a lot of reviews or side by side, so it's just going to be like a direct comparison because I optioned these exactly the same. I optioned them with a +2 mag carrier and then with threaded barrel acceptable, or you know what I'm saying. So I've already done some mods to these too, so this isn't exactly what you're going to get out of the box. I actually swapped the mag carriers just because I like the look of the darker gray on the light gray and the light gray on the darker gray, but I also shaved down the edges of both of these significantly. So I took this corner off there, I took some off there, I took that corner off there, and that's about all I did for the non-light bearing. On the light bearing, I did a little more work. I did all the same spots there, but I also cut down a lot of this right here because originally it had a cylinder coming off here that was kind of housed the threads or the thread protector, and I guess that's in case you get done using your pistol with a suppressor, it's really hot barrel, you put this back in your pants, you don't want that to burn you. But it stuck out about that far and it created a really bad hot spot and overall added like almost an inch to the length of this holster, which was really noticeable because other than that part sticking off, these were the same size and the thickness, a little bit of the width, but that's really where you felt a difference. I would put this on after wearing this one and be like, wow, this is, you know, wow, what a big difference. But this one obviously didn't have the hot spot down there. So I actually just did that a few minutes ago. I shaved that off and I polished it up a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's a fucking holster. Who cares? It's going to be in your pants anyway. And I found out that when I did all that shaving on this one, it did make it overall a lot more comfortable. So the same applies to the light bearing. Much more comfortable without that hot spot there. I'm not going to run a suppressor on this or a threaded barrel. I just figured that when I got the light bearing one, it would be open on the bottom like the non-light bearing, but it's not. So there you go. There's a tip for you. If you get the threaded barrel ready Axis Slim, it's going to have that at least for the P01 and the TLR7. Another thing I noticed is I guess these are fit by hand or finished by hand. Obviously I think they're cut out of a machine, but there's a little differences here and there that makes you that you can kind of see, like right here. There's that little bump, that detail there. It's cut off on this one. This one's also a lot more pointy here, which I'm going to radius that off or cut it off flat and kind of round those edges, because if you pull your gun and you unchamber your round and it falls on the floor and you go to bend it over to pick it up and you don't have a gun in this holster, it will stab your belly really bad with that. Maybe I'm just a bitch, but also it's happened enough to where I'm like, I'm going to round that off. So, you know, do with that info what you will. Maybe you don't do that as much as I do, but I do it. I work at a gun shop. Sometimes I show people my gun. We actually aren't supposed to, so we're not doing that anymore. But so I guess I won't have to worry about it quite as much. But if I'm showing one of my buddies my gun and I clear it and I have to pick that round up, that really fucking irritates me. Or if I'm tying my shoes and my gun's not in my holster, that's a big like hot spot area where it will stab you really bad. So other than the thickness and the overall width being bigger on the light bearing option, it's pretty much the same exact holster. You add a little bit more, you keep a little more on your concealment wing there to make up for that extra space where it pushes that out. The retention is obviously a little different on light bearing versus non-light bearing. If you have a light bearing holster, you know. I'm going to show you clear on this. Let's see, clear, nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag well. Check again, clear, nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag well. Decocked. If you have a light bearing holster, you know it's kind of, it kind of clicks in, kind of doesn't. At least on all my light bearing holsters, it's really just kind of a squeeze, and that's what that retention screw is there to tighten it down, so it'll squeeze a little tighter. It's got plenty of retention though, you know, with just making that adjustment. And then of course on the non-light bearing, it's got that really defined click. It covers the trigger guard a little more because you don't have to have that channel for the weapon light, and it retains in the ejection port as well. I'm too lazy to take my weapon light off, but if you have one that's not what it clicks really well, but there is that little bit of wiggle room because it's not like a squeeze fit like the light bearing one is. But you know, I'm kind of glad I made this mistake, because if I had ordered just the light bearing one first and not goofed and ordered this one on accident, I never would have known how comfortable this is. And this is probably going to change the way I carry overall. If I go out and I know I'm going to be out, or if I know I'm going to be home before dark, probably going to rock that. It's just that much more comfortable. And even though it's not overall, I mean, just a little narrower, or a little narrower that way and then a little narrower this way, it just makes a really big difference overall. Probably gonna get a green shock cord for this one too, because fuck, this thing looks like really fucking good. The dark gray and the light gray, the coyote back, the emerald green, the DCC clips, overall it's just a really good looking holster if you ask me, and so is this one, but I think that would look better in green. So that's pretty much it. And just a quick update on the P01. I got my wood grips, I got my light on there. I'm going to send this off to Wager soon and have them do their magic on an optic, and probably going to end up running my RMR on this off my Glock and end up getting a bigger optic for my Glock, because I think this would just look really fucking hot with a with an RMR on it. Also, it's kind of smaller, it's good for carry, also really reliable obviously. But that is pretty much it. Haven't been recording as much, went on vacation, had a good time, went for the girlfriend's birthday, and yeah, had a really good time. Went to some local gun shops out of town and found some really cool shit. I actually found a gun shop that had a CZC or CZ Custom, what is it, an A01, the full size. It was fucking sick. I couldn't believe I found one in the wild. I also got to get my hands on a Beretta Tomcat, which I've been eyeballing for a while, and those guns feel really good in the hand. If you haven't felt one, I highly suggest it. If you want a pocket pistol, I think it's a great option. Get you like a pocket holster for it, and rock it like that. Super deep concealment. 32 ACP, not the biggest round, but better than a 22. But yeah, I digress. But that is that's pretty much it for this one. Just wanted to do a direct side by side with these two holsters, because I think it's just really cool, like I said, to be able to see them side by side. In case you're going to make this decision, this might save you a couple $100, because these holsters aren't cheap. I've spent a lot more on holsters in the past couple months than I ever want to. This is my third and fourth holsters from Tier 1 Concealed. I have both MSPs for the, or I have two of the MSPs, one for the TLR 1HL and the Surefire X300. Those are both really high quality holsters. But after going with a size like this, I'm going to be hard pressed to run a full size pistol again. I mean, I will on occasion. Probably just want to feel cool, run that full size Glock 17 with an extra mag, and have all that capacity. But I mean, as far as like, you're getting 31 rounds with a setup like this if you keep one in the chamber. It's, you know, and on a pistol like a P01 or a Glock 19, you get, in my opinion, plenty big enough grip to really control it. You know, I shoot this just as good as any full-size pistol, so there's no reason to carry a big bulky gun if, you know, you do just as well, you know, with something like this. Why big gun when little gun do trick? You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much it. I'm just really stoked on how this fucking thing looks, dude. It just looks so good, and I know I'm a nerd for riding P01 on there, but at this point I'm getting so many holsters, and you know, I'm probably gonna end up getting some more, one for my SIG, for my P365, and maybe something for my P09 specifically, because gun's growing on me again. But I like the little writing I do on it. I don't know, it looks cool to me. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this helps at least one person kind of make a decision on, you know, deciding between these two holsters. You can't really go wrong with anything from Tier 1, but this has kind of changed me, man. I might be a pocket handheld flashlight, no WML guy, I mean, not really. I'll never be that guy, but on occasion, seems to be the superior option. So, like I said, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.